Welcome to the BumbleKast. I'm your host, Ian Flynn, the Bumble King, and joining me as always is my Bumble co-host, Kyle, JCRB Kraus.
Whoa! Hey! Didn't see you there. Nice of you to drop by. I guess this means it's Q&A time again?
It is. But before we get into it, we have a little bit of news on what the show is doing in the immediate future.
Oh boy.
We have other obligations here wrapping up the end of the month, so we're going to have to shuffle things around. We're going to have to skip the end of the month live session. Sorry about that, but we should be on track to do it in November. And next week, first week of October, we're going to have a regularly styled episode on the Wednesday. Not your regular Monday, just the Wednesday. But then for the rest of October, we're going to go back to the 2 episodes a week because we're still shuffling through all your questions.
Oh, yeah.
But something's got to give on our end. We're actually pre-recording a whole bunch to make sure that the schedule doesn't get interrupted this month. So take a break, a little bit of a break. Ease off the gas just a tiny bit in October, and then we'll get right back to all that Q&A goodness. So it's not really a stop. It's more kind of like a rolling stop, the kind of stop that you would get pulled over for if you were driving.
The kind of stop usually attributed to California drivers.
I believe that's universal, Kyle.
Well, it truly is.
White North as well.
It truly is. Yeah, especially because most of the California drivers moved to Arizona in the last couple decades. So now it's more like an Arizona stop rather than a California stop. So,
I mean, they tried to stop in California, but they just rolled through.
They just rolled right on through. Yeah. Pretty much. Without further ado, I guess let's go ahead and get into the standard Q&A.
Yes, indeedy.
This one is all from YouTube this week, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Starting off with one from Ray Quizzle97. I would love to hear your thoughts about the different portrayals between classic and modern Knuckles. I feel in classic iterations, Knuckles looks stronger, is more of an equal to Sonic, and is allowed to play a more important part in the story without other rivals like Shadow and such to take up space. Why do you think this is? And what do you think this or the role of Knuckles is in modern Sonic? I think I kind of messed up on the read of that. Sorry.
Yeah, well.
What do you think of this? What do you think of this? And what do you think is or should be the role of Knuckles in modern Sonic? There we go.
Haha. I think you're pretty much dead on right there. I feel like classic Knuckles can get away with being a little goofier without hurting his credibility. I'm thinking primarily like the more recent stuff, like the Mania Adventures and the Mania Intro, and even a little bit of the Team Sonic Racing, which is more modern Knuckles. But I feel like he can have his foibles, but he's still Sonic's rival, like you said, because there's nobody else to really steal that spotlight. So they have that nice little yin yang going on there, and it's simple, it's straightforward, and that's part of why I like classic so much.
They're friends, but they give each other a lot of crap.
Yeah. They wouldn't really admit to being friends, but they're friends.
I mean, they hang out together all the time.
Yeah,
you see them.
It's a little more buddy than frenemy, I guess.
Yeah.
In modern, I feel like there is a deeper mutual trust there. Not that it's really tapped significantly, but there is this understanding between them that they've been through a bit. And while they are very much different wavelengths, they know that they can count on each other. Like, if Sonic is showing up, Knuckles is like, it's him again. Well, all right. Yeah, if something happens, he may not like asking for help, but Knuckles knows that he can ask Sonic for help and that it will work out. Yeah. If Knuckles shows up, Sonic may razz him, but he knows it's for a reason, because Knuckles wouldn't just show up willy-nilly.
Yeah, and if Sonic shows up, Knuckles is like, crap, something's going on again.
What did you do this time?
What happened now?
What Knuckles needs to do is he needs to get off that blasted island.
Yes, absolutely.
There needs to be some resolution to the whole Guardian thing and get him out there exploring the world. Get him out there doing things. he can remain the aloof, badass friend that pops up every now and again and make his appearances important because it's him and not because it's his job, you know?
Yeah.
Right now, if Knuckles shows up, it's either because the Master Emerald is in trouble or they completely forgot to reference the Master Emerald, in which case he's being bad at his job. If you remove that, then it's Knuckles is here, and the celebration is that, okay, it's Knuckles. He's here because that's cool. Not, here's Knuckles, here's how the plot is contrived to bring him into the story.
Yeah. Just get rid of that blasted island. Just literally blast that island. Just do it. Just get rid of it. Just explode it all. All gone.
Well, I like Angel Island. I don't want to blow it up. But...
Okay. We don't have to go that far then, I guess. I don't know. Just put it back in the ocean. It sat in the ocean once and it was fine.
Plug it back in the
At least
room.
once.
I don't know. Something.
At least once. Multiple times. Ugh. Yeah. Ah. We need more Knuckles. I don't need him to be on that stupid island. He's too cool to be on the island. Oh well. Here's a question from Warthog Power. I wonder, can prehistoric or extinct animals exist in IDW, Sonic?
Good question. I don't know. Have not tested that just yet.
Well, if they're extinct, why would they exist?
I mean, Knuckles is technically extinct. You can't exactly expect him to do parthenogenesis at this point, but certain animals would probably be off limits because Sega prefers that we stick to a certain body type and size. So we're probably not going to see anything akin to Mammoth Mogul again anytime soon. But I don't know. Maybe a thylacine, maybe a dodo, Carolina parrot. I don't know. Maybe. We have not gotten there yet. There ought to be a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Knuckles leaves the island. He finds himself a dinosaur. Friend, rival, frenemy, something.
Yes. He goes on an adventure and he finds dinosaurs. Or maybe he just goes to the other side of Angel Island once and finds a dinosaur. It's like, what the heck? What am I doing there? What the heck is going on? It's like never been on this side of the island. It's like, well, this is your island,
what are you doing
dude.
on my island?
Yeah.
Off my island.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, why would Knuckles not know what's on the other side of his island? But, he's Knuckles. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
And then Styx starts yelling from her porch, both of y'all get off my island. And to be clear, all it is just a porch sitting out in the wilderness. It's not attached to a house or anything.
No. It's just, she just built a porch. I don't know, because she Styx. It's what she does. Here's a question from MSF. Is Marine considered a civilian character, considering outside of that one time, she's never been depicted with any special powers?
Maybe. I mean, she also is at least some genius level technician because she's supposed to be, I think, 6. And granted, she was kind of following behind Tails' designs, but she built her own water ski. Show me a 6-year-old who can do that.
Cream 7.
Yeah, well, Cream doesn't build jet skis.
That you know of.
That I know of. I will grant you that.
You write the things. You could make her build a jet ski. Maybe.
I mean, it's never been confirmed who built the Chow Mecha. So I could be very wrong. But I feel like because she's a named character and she was a plot character, that she's kind of above civilian status. But this is also because she's only shown up in one piece of media, really. I'm not counting the comics because they're dead. And she hasn't shown up since then. So, I don't know. I really don't know. If and when we get to Marine, we'll just have to kind of see what direction Sega gives us.
Alrighty. Speaking of ages, here's this question from Shaz ML1. Or maybe it's Chase ML1. I'm not 100% sure. Correct me. Leave a comment down below. Even if you're not Chase ML1, leave a comment down below. I've heard that Amy is officially 12 years old a few times now, but between having grown up with the Fleetway comics, where she was about the same age as Sonic, and how at odds with her more recent appearances it is, especially the head of the restoration stuff in the IDW comics. It surprises me every time, and I honestly refuse to believe it. She's at least Sonic's age, if not a year or two older than him.
Yeah, you could take the Sonic ages with a shaker of salt. I mean, Sonic's supposed to be 15. Big is 20. You know?
Yeah, here's the thing. It's like if they're specifically portrayed as children, then that's one thing. But anybody beyond that seems to their age is kind of amorphous.
Yeah. Personally, I wish they just nix the ages altogether.
Yeah.
And just kind of classify them as kids, teens, adults, and give it some fuzzy math there, because then you can work within a degree of plausible deniability. Even then, Tails doesn't act like an 8-year-old.
Not really. No. None of the characters act their age. Really.
So, I mean, that's not really a question, I guess. It's more of a statement, and I'm pretty much in agreement with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree with it too. It's just weird. It's just weird. Yeah. I don't know why they have to specify. I do know why they kind of had to specify originally for Sonic, at least right in the very early days, because I think they were trying to appeal to kids with Sonic, so they wanted to make him a little bit older than I think the age they were gunning for, because kids like to look up to the older kids or be the older kids or whatever, you know. They don't like to be themselves. They want to be or see themselves. They want to see the older, cooler, like the cool big brother sort of thing. You know, imagine Sonic as your cool big brother. I feel like that's kind of what they were going for originally, but now it's just kind of whatever. Anyway, here's a question from Ivan F. Ian, have you ever thought about how, if you had to do it, would you write an Archie story? Not Sonic Archie, but actual Archie, the character.
I did write Archie.
Da-da-da.
Asterix co-wrote it with Mark Waid. God, how long ago was that now?
It's a few years ago. That was right after Sonic ended, wasn't it?
Shortly thereafter, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, did some Archie, did some Jughead, and then I just did a smattering of other properties like Sam Hill and some of the MLJ heroes outside of New Crusaders continuity. Yeah, I've done a fair bit of Archie stuff.
Yeah.
You can find out what it is and when it was over at bumbleking.com.
There you go. Next question is from Rodimus Prime. How can we get Sega to make a classic comic? It warms my heart so to see Sega start to try to appeal to specific demographics of their diverse fan base. It just feels right with how different people love different aspects of Sonic.
Write to Sega and write to IDW and say you want it, that you would pay good money to see this come into life.
Heck, I'd pay bad money. I don't care.
I mean, if there is enough demand for it, they may allocate personnel and funds to produce. So, I mean, the series has already borne more fruit at so early a stage than I would have expected. So, don't be rude about it, of course, but yeah, just write into them, tweet to them, email them, just say, I like what you're doing. I want more of it. Gimme, please and thank you. And keep at it. And they just might do.
They better do. I want them to do. Here's a question from Aaron M. How old is the character Lanolin the Sheep of the IDW comics supposed to be? I saw online that someone listed her as being 20, and I was wondering if that's true or not. If there's no set age for her yet, how old would you speculate she probably is?
See, in an earlier episode, I said that she didn't have an official design, and apparently that was wrong.
Yeah.
Apparently she does have a locked-in Sega design, since she is semi-reoccurring. So I am not aware of a set age. Should probably ask Evan that.
Yeah.
But I don't think she does. And I would imagine it would be something comparable to the rest of the crew. Like, I can't see her as being much older. Like, I believe Vector kind of sets the bar at 20, so I can't see her being older than that. But I would think her probably in the teens. I don't know.
Or big is also 20.
Yeah.
20 is the oldest, and then all Sonic characters die at 25. That's the only explanation. Except Mimic is 32. Yeah, well, ignore that. He's a shapeshifter. He can be whatever age he wants. Anyway, here's a question from Necromage. What are Mimic and Zavok's relationship with each other currently? Would they attack each other on sight, or do they just no longer consider themselves allies?
I believe there's some professional courtesy between the two of them, but they aren't friends. I guess it would kind of depend on the nature of how they ran into each other. If Mimic were out in the open and like just crossing the street and they make eye contact, I think there might be a respectful nod and that's it. If Mimic is like being all sneaky, Zavok's going to assume that he's out to kill him and is going to react in kind. But why else would Mimic be sneaky, except if he were going to kill somebody? So I think they would give each other a wide berth. They're not going to get in each other's way unless they really need to. And if they need to, then they won't have any qualms over it.
Alrighty. Here's this one from Geo. If you were to make teams with Sonic and the My Hero Academia characters, which characters would you pair with?
Oh boy. Well, Tails and Deku, like straight up. That one's easy. The turbo nerds with aspirations of growing stronger and becoming their idols. They're virtually the same thing. Except Tails doesn't have the one for all. I can see Amy and getting along. I'm kind of inclined. I'm just messing with the name.
Okay.
Gravity, if you prefer. I kind of want to go with Cream just because of they share that bubbly attitude and kind of flight-esque powers, but I feel like Amy and Gravity's gumption works well together. They're both driven ladies of action, and I could see them doing some really cool stuff together. Let's see. Because you haven't watched it yet, have you, Kyle?
No, sir. Nope. I know. It's a lot of things I haven't done or seen or watched.
See, I'm trying to think of stuff that isn't just like blatantly obvious. Like, sure, you've got Shadow and Bakugo, who are kind of the antithesis to the main hero, and they're crazy powerful and they're very antisocial, but I don't see them necessarily working well together. Of course, I guess it kind of depends what era of Bakugo you're working with. Like if we're talking straight out of middle school versus, well into year one at UA, that's almost night and day when you get down to it. And just to be clear, I'm following the anime. I haven't read the manga, so I am like halfway behind at least anyone who's reading it. Do not comment below. Do not say anything to the video. I don't want to be spoiled. I've already been spoiled on a couple things, and I don't want to be spoiled on any more. So you hush. You just shut your mouth. If you feel like you have better ideas for pair-ups, yeah, absolutely comment on that below. But no spoilers. Absolutely none.
Proof here that Ian does read the comments, and they're scary. I can corroborate. Comments are scary. Keep it up. Keep leaving them. Here's a question from Dragon's Den of Variety. To both Ian and Kyle, which characters do you think show off the found family or brothers or sisters or siblings by bond trope the best? Can you two give us your top 5 on this subject? I assume they mean just in general, not like anything specific.
Because, Sonic and Tails is a given.
Right.
It's right there.
Yeah. I don't have like a top 5, I guess, really. The main characters of Legends of Tomorrow, I guess.
Okay.
Which I really appreciate that show. It's very silly. It has absolutely ridiculous storylines and just outrageous plots. but it always seems to treat the characters respectfully and seriously. So I think that's one thing I appreciate. And they're definitely like a found family sort of thing. They've all come together. They're all these disparate sorts of people with varying degrees of abilities and different abilities, but they've all learned to love each other. So I appreciate that.
Okay.
The Avatar, the Aang Gang.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Because I'm playing it right now, Tales of Arise, they lean hard into that. The main party and them coming together, and like there's an entire skit devoted to them almost kind of playing house and delegating who plays what role, which is kind of cute. But one that I feel like is less on the nose would be Tales of Berseria, where it is also a kind of found family thing, and it's equally wholesome, except with Berseria, you're playing as the villains, really, when you get down to it. So, yes, Rokuro and Aizen are the fun uncles to Laphicet, but they are bad men. They are very, very bad men. Yes, Velvet is incredibly sisterly to Laphicet because of her entire backstory and kind of the point of the game. But she is a murderous, revenge-fueled bad lady.
Sounds awesome.
Magilu is a bad person on every freaking level. It doesn't matter the trauma that she came from. She's a bad person.
Now you're just making me want to play this game.
Oh, Berseria is great. The gameplay itself is kind of
mediocre,
but the characters and the story in that are like one of my top faves out of the Tales series. Aizen alone is my favorite Tales character. He is the manliest man to ever man. It's just there's a scene in particular. I'm getting a little off topic, but there's a scene in particular where they're interrogating some guard, and he just straight up grabs the dude's hand in his fist and cracks one of the guy's fingers, and then says, "All right, you have 9 more chances to tell us what we want to know." That's how he opens.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he starts the conversation.
Nice.
Just he's the best.
Yeah.
He and Rokuro have like the best dual Mystic Art too. Okay, sorry, we're getting way off topic, but
yeah, I think so.
Both of them have this found family element of these very disparate individuals coming together and being a family unit. And I'm going to distinguish that from like Vesperia's crew or Symphonia's crew or Abyss's crew, where they're all brought together. It's the odd hodgepodge of characters brought together for a common goal, sure, but I feel like the party that rallies around Lloyd has a different dynamic than the Berseria crew.
Mm-hmm.
There's a different interconnection there.
Yeah. There's also X-Men. X-Men's a big one.
Yeah, geez.
Yeah, that's a giant one, especially Evolution, I feel like. Thanks to a reminder of that one from the chat. I appreciate that. Yeah, X-Men Evolution, absolutely. Yeah, X-Men in general, but definitely Evolution shows a definite found family aspect of it.
I mean, Batman, quite literally, he finds a new one every few generations.
Batman too. The Bat Family. It's literally called the Bat Family. Yeah, it's a common trope, but it's a good one. I like it a lot. Like most superheroes, I think have their kind of their own little group. Firefly is another good one.
Yeah.
I don't know. Any others you can think of, Ian?
Darkwing Duck?
Yeah, actually. Yeah. I like that. I think that's enough. Leave your favorite found family or siblings by bond. Leave your favorites down in the comments while we take a quick break and then come back to more BumbleKast. And we are back from our break. It was a good break. We did things. Things happened. It was a good time. But now it's time for more Q&A. Starting off with Master of Pasta. I love pasta. In the event that you ever do get to write a Mario and Sonic crossover event of some kind, would you give Mario his own super form? And if so, what do you imagine it would look like, and what powers would it have? Convenient that this person asking this has pasta in their name and they're talking about Mario.
Indeed.
I like it.
Certainly no conspiratorial connections there.
Of course not.
Mr. Luigi. Anyway.
Knowing smile.
I don't know. It would kind of depend on what Nintendo let us do. And they're kind of notorious for being tight-fisted with their control of their IP. Giving Mario a special form, even for a fun crossover story like that, it would really depend on what they would let us do. That, and it's a little hard to know what direction to go with, because Mario fans, correct me if I'm wrong, but he hasn't ever really had a form analogous to Supersonic. Like,
yeah. Let Lee set the record straight.
Well, the difference there is that that's a temporary power up, like the invincibility shield.
So is Supersonic. Supersonic is also temporary.
Yeah, but that is something you have to earn through the special stages. It's usually reserved for a final boss. It's usually kind of a plot element. It's a big deal, you know?
I guess.
Like, is there anything Mario has that he has to work towards and build up to and then can pull upon?
Giga Cat Mario in the new Bowser's Fury.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you basically have to build up the power of the bell until you finally can release it and then unleash it on yourself and power up glowing yellow, going Super Saiyan Cat, basically.
Okay.
And then whoop Bowser into next week.
I don't know if I'd want my big Sonic and Mario crossover to have him be a giant golden cat, but
would be funny.
Maybe something akin to that. I don't know. At least we have some kind of giant golden form.
Yeah, well, he's got invincibility. He's got the P-wing. He's got the golden leaf from shoot, what is it? Is it Mario 3D World that has the golden leaf? I think it might be in a few different games actually, but it basically makes him invincible and he can fly forever, and you know, it's okay. Supposed to be super easy mode for when you fall off the stage too many times. Oh, 3D Land. Okay. It's in a few different games, I think. Recently. It's for the kids, you know? It's for the kids.
And those of us who can't play Mario. I don't know, maybe do a bunch of combinations of powers ups, because Mario, I think, is better known for his arsenal of power ups than Sonic is necessarily.
Right.
Like, yeah, you have the Wisp as of recent, but that's not as hallmark as Mario, who has, so many.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I imagine like firepower would come into play in a super form for Mario. It seems like it's a thing.
Yeah, I mean, like Supersonic's whole thing is you take the speed of Sonic and you up it, and the only thing that stops Sonic is getting injured, but Supersonic can't be injured, so you just keep up that speed.
Right.
So I guess Mario, give him all the power-ups. Why not?
Maybe.
The Chaos question block. Boop. You get all the powers.
Or maybe you just give Mario a hedgehog suit. It's just Mario's head in a Sonic costume. Mario's face peeking out of there.
Super. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because you can only have male hedgehogs go super. So there you go. We've worked around it. Eat it, Sega. I'm not trying to get you in trouble, Ian, but eat it, Sega. All right, let's get into this question here from Vlad C. The Knights brand is 25 years old, and while not exactly dead, it's seen better days. Do you think Knights could benefit from being absorbed into the Sonic brand, solidifying the Knights universe to be a sub-series of the Sonic universe? Do you think Sonic could benefit from this merge?
I think the key word there is benefit. And I don't know if it would benefit.
I feel like that would be kind of a slap in the face to Knights fans who are very, very. It's a small fan base, but they are very dedicated.
Yeah.
And they love Knights. I mean,
I feel like it would be a very easy merger.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like humans in the Sonic world should skew more towards what Knights presents anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And we already have a dream realm thanks to Shuffle. Say that the imaginary world is an aspect of the dream world or something. That Illumina is a counterpart to Wise Man. That I can see syncing up pretty easily.
Right.
The issue is that Sonic's mythos is already so big, we have a hard time finding time to play with all of that. And then adding Knights to it, I feel like it would just kind of relegate Knights to the obscuria of the Sonic canon, not just its own. And there would be that little bit of sting of Knights couldn't fly solo, so now we've got to staple it onto Sonic to give it a lifeline. If it were up to me and we went that route, it would be a decision made out of love, but I could see how it would not go over well with some folks. I would prefer just a nice crossover, but I don't know. It could be done, but I don't know if it would be the right thing to do. If you're a Knights fan, comment below and let us know what you think.
There've been quite a few Knights references and some crossover-ish sort of things with, Sonic being playable in Christmas Nights and
Right.
Pinball Table in Sonic Adventure 1. And what else was there? Oh, the DLC for Sonic Lost World.
Yep.
So it's definitely a possible thing, but I just feel like, trying to stuff Knights into Sonic's world on a more permanent basis, I feel like would be a kind of a slight. Even if it's not intended as one, it would just be,
Yeah. I feel like you could merge the two while keeping Knights its own entity. It could still be distinctly Knights.
Right.
A lot easier than if you were going to try to bring Billy Hatcher over.
Yeah.
Or Billy Hatcher is its own thing. Knights, I feel like you could blur that line. But again, not sure if that would be the right thing to do.
Yeah. All right. And here's the next question from Inferno Earth. Are Archie Mega Man and Game Mega Man parallel universes to each other? Are they in the same multiverse?
Just a quick aside, Inferno Earth is either the name of a death metal band or the name of their album. Because that rocks.
Well, I mean, there's Iced Earth. That's a band.
Yeah, but we're not talking about them. We're talking about Inferno Earth.
Inferno Earth.
Yeah.
That's first thing that comes up when I look it up is Doctor Who reference. So maybe it's something from that.
Okay.
Oh nope. Here's an album.
All right, there we go.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, sure. Call them parallel universes in the same multiverse. That works.
The Earth Inferno album is a goth rock album from 1991.
All right. Not sure what the sound of goth rock is versus other rock, but
Fields of Nephilim is the band name.
Nice.
Yeah. Wow. Pretty cool. Anyway, sorry for that deviation there. Here's one from Ralph OTG. What were those serious pitches you actually wanted to write that got passed up in favor of Iron Dominion? Have they already been used? Did they get scrapped, or were they swept under the rug?
I don't remember all of them, but I know one of them was the King Nagas arc, and one of them was the Death Egg 2 arc. So we got to those two eventually. And I feel like there were like 5 pitches in that deck. and 3 of them got used, and the other 2, if they got used, cool. If not, I've forgotten them, and obviously they weren't that cool because I didn't commit them to memory.
Not cool at all. There's a lot of cool things I've forgotten. I mean, to be fair.
Yeah, like what?
I don't know. That's why. I'm reminded of them later on. I'll tell you when one comes up.
Please do. Comment in the video below.
Yes, I will comment in the video below. I'll use all of my different YouTube accounts, including the BumbleKast account itself. I don't think that counts. Oh well, whatever. Here's one from Super Hyper Dad. I'm curious, though you are most likely not very familiar with Sonic Underground, at least not as much as the games and comics. What are your thoughts on Manic and Sonia? How would you generally write them? Are there any changes you would make? I'd also be interested in your approach to their introductions.
You're right. I'm not as knowledgeable about that, but I did go through the whole series when we were planning on doing that epilogue issue.
Yes, and you also canceled the original series.
No,
it's all your fault.
No.
You were like 15, and you weren't working for Deke or Sega or anything, but it's all your fault.
You're never going to let that go, are you?
Well, I just think it's funny.
But, because, I mean, if we were going to do an epilogue issue, I wanted to do it right. I wanted to do right by the Underground fans. And from what I remember, the Sonic, Sonia, Manic dynamic was fun. It was like the most solid part of the show. To a degree, you had 3 different aspects of the Sonic persona playing against itself. You had, vanilla Sonic, and then Manic, who was a little more laid back, I guess, and Sonia, who was a little more uptight. And having those versions of Sonic play against themselves, which I feel like is a reasonable enough assessment given that it was Jaleel White on all 3. Led to some fun banter and some fun interactions, and you could get some mileage out of that. As to if we were to bring them back, like if Sega were to say, okay, Sonic has family now, and we're bringing those back out of retirement. Number 1, I'd be gobsmacked. Number 2, I don't quite know if the royalty angle would be worth preserving. I think there would be some fun in the 3 of them having been separated by whatever circumstances and rediscovering each other. Here we go, found family again.
Mm-hmm.
And coming to terms with that they aren't singular entities, that they are part of a set, that they have family out there, and how they bridge those gaps. And being Sonic, he would be cool with it in general, kind of excited about it, and pretty chill if, maybe Sonia doesn't quite want to get on board with this because she likes being Sonia. She doesn't need an entourage necessarily, but there would be that degree of belonging that would eventually win her over. And Manic, who, let's say he's kind of on the wrong side of the tracks. Let's go crazy here. Maybe he runs a couple gigs with Rough and Tumble. Maybe he does an odd job for Clutch. He's not a bad guy. He just does what he needs to do to get by. And maybe he doesn't quite jive with this whole world hero thing that Sonic's got going on. But there's no judgment on Sonic's part. He's just happy to have a brother. That's cool. And that kind of wins him over. And yeah, maybe it's worth a little extra effort to take the high road and not be a dirty scumbag necessarily. And this is all just off the top of my head. I don't know if it would particularly work or if this rings true to the Underground fans, but I think it could potentially work with the proper time and thought applied to it.
Sure. I feel like the Sonic Underground cast, specifically Manic and Sonia, they're yet another part of the Sonic mythos that is lost potential. There's a lot of those two with those two that you could do, and it has not been done. It's like, come on, Sega, Let the unclench the fist. Let some things out. Let Sonic, let old things play with the new things. Make the fans happy. Do it. Do it now. Here's a question from MJR. The Black Arms were pretty much designed to be a one-and-done villain, but they've intrigued me quite a bit. I've always wondered what it would be like if Shadow was the leader of the Black Arms. Would he use them for good or bad? Would anybody else trust him with the aliens? There's a lot of exploring that could be done with the topic.
Like, we covered this on the briefly when we did the what if scenarios, and if we are to follow, from what I remember, of the dark paths out of Shadow's game, he would lead them to conquest, either as Black Doom's right hand or supplanting Black Doom and still leading the Black Arms on conquest. And evil King Shadow of the Alien Invaders is fun. Not gonna lie, that'd be kind of neat to follow. At the same time, it would be kind of neat if he were to take over the remnants or something and try to do good with them. I mean, here you have this hive mind of ravenous spaced beasties that are literal living weapons, much like he is. And you have someone who doesn't particularly care for humanity or its nonsense, trying to teach humanity to what is technically his kin, but lack higher cognitive abilities to understand why gnawing on a baby is a bad idea. you could explore a lot of stuff. That could be a very interesting character arc for him. Don't think we'll ever see that, but I don't know. That's why fanfic exists. All of y'all have fun with that.
But Shadow, baby bones make good toothpicks.
Everybody starts giving him the side eye when he starts humming the Chili's theme. Chili's baby back. I mean, no, bad. This is what you wanted, isn't it, Maria? A chance for everyone to eat babies.
Jonathan Swift's ideal world. I'm ready.
First thing we're going to do is take over the Gerber Foundation. We don't have to change the labeling.
Perfect. Just change what's in the packaging. Perfect. I love it. This episode's dark.
It's pretty sick.
Sick in the good way. Pretty sick, bro. Pretty rad. Anyway, here's a question from Green Soda. Are Pin and Bin from Dynamite Ducks allowed to be in the classic Sonic world? I mean, Ben is Bean's father in the canon, so it could happen. But wouldn't that also make another human canon in Sonic if you're making the full game canon?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Dynamite Ducks is kind of fringe, fuzzy canon.
It's more like a reference to Dynamite Ducks than an actually part of canon.
Like, you can fold Knights into Sonic way easier than you can fold Dynamite Ducks into Classic. I mean, Bean himself is only just now approaching solidly canon. So I think Dynamite Ducks is just kind of a nod and the wink joke reference that's going to just sit on the benches outside of what is considered official.
Alrighty. And Miles T. Prower is back with yet another question. We keep getting these questions from Tails. It's good to see him here. I've noticed that Nicole has had a ship teased with Espio. Shard got implied to have a crush on her right before the reboot, and was planned to be in a relationship with Sally during post-reboot. So do you think we'll ever see the Lynx get a romantic partner? And out of those three ships, which one do you think would be better for her?
No, we're not going to see any conclusion because that aspect of the franchise is done. It's not going to ever be continued. A funny thing with the pre-reboot stuff is I was definitely angling for Nicole and Espio, but there was like one little moment between her and Shard, and the fandom collectively jumped on it. And it's like, well, the masses have spoken. I guess I'm steering this way. Sorry, Espio. And post-reboot, that's where we were building towards, to be sure. And we just didn't have the time to fully realize it. So phooey. But I don't know, any of them would work well enough for her. They're all, good potential partners who would treat her as an individual and with the respect she deserves and be nurturing counterparts. So any and all would be fine.
Yeah, I don't see why not. Have fun with your headcanon. Make all three of them partners. I don't know. Just do it. Just do it. Do whatever you want.
Computer program, she can multitask.
I mean, yeah, she could probably split herself into multiple hard light holograms or whatever she is.
we don't need to go any further down this path. I regret it. I regret it. Next question.
Okay. Here's this one from Kanoka Club. Do you think Mimic's feet make the same sound as Squidward's? And if so, would that be a way to find him when disguised? Since the design page I found indicates that he still has the suckers when shapeshifting.
You just imagine him mimicking Sonic and you just hear this. In theory, yes, but he is a master of disguise and a stealthy assassin. He has learned how to not go plip plop when he walks.
I love it. It's great. And our final question is from Boney Cheese. Where does milk come from in the IDW comics?
Well, we've seen real world animals around, like elephants and zebras and whatnot. So, and regular old dogs. So we can assume there are regular cows. You know how there's all these small animals like flickies and pockies, little birds and rabbits. Maybe there's little tiny cows called milkies, and they're like go-gurts.
Okay. It comes from the store.
Yeah, it's fine. It comes from the store.
Or it comes from nipples. Can we say that on YouTube? I just did.
I guess.
Can we say the word nipples? Is that allowed?
Is it truly offensive? I don't know. Does that count as derogatory?
We're going to find out. I don't know.
Well, it was fun being monetized.
Yeah. It's over now. It's over now. Speaking of which, that was the last question.
Thank heavens, because we've clearly lost our minds. But before we wrap it up, we're going to give a big thank you to all the patrons over at patreon.com/BumbleKast, Ko-fi.com/BumbleKast, and our YouTube members. Big thank you to Daniel H., Alex P., James K., John B., Jennifer R., Robotnik Holmes, Samuel P., Sam Cybercat, Torchbound, Justin G., Mike B., Coupland Crew 128, Duas Dizdin, Diane W., Bradley T., Andrew D., Scruffy Matt, Chris A., Sonny Salute Your Cat, John M., Noni, Dave M., Off, Don B., Yami M., Sin Fritz, Lee H.K., Lisa M., Silly String, Chevelle, Jay Frost, Piggy Bank, Jeb, Hero of Light 13, Blue Title Gamer, Tick Tick, Justin S., Final Neil, Ryan D., Speedweed, Jonathan D., Rachel W., Godzilla, Chaos Universe, Sonic Legacy, Daniel B., Dabbler the Dalek, Sonic, PC the Unicorn, Dove, Preston M., Red the Supernamic, Pandolce, Fiona M., Joe S., Chad, Jonathan R., Chase L., Owen B.D., Ben Wolfsbane, Renard Pixel, Les, Invade Turbotunis, Danny the Light, Sapphire Scarletta, Turbo, Crooker, John the Real Waluigi, Noah S., Carlos, Lewis J., Levy Loves Jojo, Corgiro Highwind, Callum Q., Spark Z, Fire Red XY, Kimiko, Big Piggy's Lover, Alphamon Oryukin, Michi, Michael, and Zenderoni the Painter.
Nice. Thank you to all of you, to everyone who has joined, previously joined, and then had to leave, or anybody who will be joining. Thank you to all of you. You are all wonderful people. If you're listening to this show, you're a wonderful person, and we love you.
Once again, we will see you next Wednesday for a regular formatted BumbleKast, and then we're going to go back to our priority and our standard double weekly episode daily.
Indeed.
Until then, be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and we will see you next time on the BumbleKast. The E-Rank BumbleKast theme.
At least it's not an F rank. Frank? Who's Frank? I don't know who Frank is. Is that why they didn't do F rank because it would be Frank? Or is F rank just like you didn't finish the level? Oop. Did you go silent?
You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Did you go silent?
You went silent.
Okay. I was waiting for you.
I was waiting for you. You started to laugh and then it went just dead air.
Well, so?
I just want to make sure we're still recording.
Yes, we're good. We're good. Yes. Right. Carry on.
Someday. Awesome Cross. 96.
You've been listening to the BumbleKast, a co-production of Bumble King Comics and the KNGI Network. Original theme music composed by Ken Coda Snyder. Remixed intro by T-Lopes. Find out more information, along with podcast feeder links, MP3 downloads, and more at bumbleking.com and kngi.org.
Chili's baby back ribs. Chili's baby back ribs. Chaos Control.
Barbecue sauce.
Now with a side of chili cheese chow fries.
Oh, yes. Very blue fries. That's what I want.
Blech.
And of milk. Lots of milk. If it's spicy chili, you'll need milk.